You park the 2014 Honda Accord 3 blocks away from the steakhouse. You don't want to deal with the valet, not because of the tip, because you know exactly how your brother-in-law is going to look at it. He just financed a $52,000 SUV at 7.2% interest. He thinks he is winning. He genuinely thinks you are falling behind. You walk into the restaurant and they have already ordered the expensive appetizers. Dane, glad you could make it, your uncle says, pulling out a chair. His eyes do that little sweep up and down your 5-year-old jacket. It's pity. Complete undisguised, quiet financial pity from your own family. They think you are struggling. They think you're stuck in the exact same place. They have no idea what is actually sitting on your phone right now. Just 2 taps away. A Vanguard app with a balance of $512,480. You smile, sit down, and simply ask the waiter for a glass of water. Your brother-in-law smirks loudly, ordering his third $18 cocktail of the night. Now here's where it gets interesting. Can you guess what happens next? Most people would want to prove them wrong. Flash a watch. Pay the bill. But you don't. You sit in the absolute silence of your own success. Because quiet money is the only money that actually lets you sleep at night. Let them pity you. Let them think you are barely scraping by. Their pity is your camouflage. It is the armor protecting your total peace. 10 years ago, you made a decision that felt agonizing at the time. You decided to step off the treadmill everyone else was sweating on. While they were upgrading apartments, signing leases for $1,800 a month downtown, you stayed in the tired one-bedroom that cost you $1,000 flat. That $800 difference didn't go into a vacation fund. It didn't go into clothes. It went directly into the S&P 500, month after month, rain or shine, market up, market down. You treated that transfer like it was a mafia debt you had to pay to survive. People noticed. Oh, they always notice when you stop keeping up. Dane's just not that ambitious, they would whisper at the family barbecues. You heard it, of course you did. It stung at first. Human nature dictates that we want the respect of our tribe. We want the applause. But applause is expensive. It costs you your future. Every time you try to look rich, you are actively preventing yourself from actually becoming rich. Let's look at the math of what your brother-in-law is doing. He makes $85,000 a year. On paper, he is doing incredibly well for himself, but he has a $760 a month car payment. He pays $240 in insurance. His mortgage is at 6.5% on a $430,000 house. By the 28th of every single month, he is quietly panicking. He has $74 left in his checking account, but he looks like a millionaire. Compare that to someone who did it differently. Same income, completely different result. You kept your expenses anchored to the floor while your income grew. You maxed out your Roth IRA every January, $7,000 straight in. You bought boring index funds that historically returned 10.5% a year. The first 3 years were brutal. You looked at your account and it was $30,000. It felt like nothing. It felt like you were suffering for pennies. But you didn't touch it. You let the compound interest start its silent, invisible engine. The interest started earning its own interest while you were sleeping. Most people stop here. The ones who don't are the ones who actually change things. You kept pushing, funneling every raise and bonus into your investments. By year 5, you crossed $100,000. That was the first time the air in the room felt different. You walked into work knowing you didn't desperately need them. Your boss yelled at you one Tuesday over a minor mistake. In the past, your heart would race. You would panic about making rent. But that day, you just looked at him. You had $100,000 sitting in a high-yield savings account, earning 4.6%. That is $4,600 a year, $383 a month, literally materializing out of thin air, just because your money existed. You didn't argue, you just smiled. He thought you were submissive. He had no idea you were just financially immune to his threats. That is the true power of stealth wealth. By year 7, you crossed $250,000. The snowball was rolling down the hill now. It was getting bigger on its own, barely needing your input anymore. This is when the loneliness of success really sets in. This one is hard to admit. Nobody talks about this part of the journey. You can't tell your friends. If you tell them you have $250,000, the dynamics instantly change. Suddenly they expect you to pay for dinner. If they have a $5,000 credit card debt at 24% APR, they look at you and wonder why you aren't offering to bail them out. So you keep your mouth shut. You keep driving the old Honda. You keep wearing the plain black t-shirts. You let them think you're perfectly average. But the gap between you and them is widening every single day. While they finance furniture they can't afford, you are buying pieces of the global economy. You watch your cousin complain about inflation ruining her life while she holds a $7 coffee and a brand new phone she financed for 36 months. You want to shake her. You want to show her the math, but you know she wouldn't listen. People don't want solutions. They want to be validated. So you sit there nodding empathetically while your portfolio quietly jumps another $1,400 in a single afternoon of trading. You say nothing. You are playing a completely different game on a completely different board. They are playing for status. You are playing for ultimate, undeniable, unquestionable freedom. The next one on this list is the one nobody talks about, and it's the most powerful. It's the psychological shift when you hit $500,000, $500,000. When you saw that number cross the screen on a random Thursday morning, the world didn't physically change. The sky was still blue, but inside your chest a massive heavy iron chain snapped. The baseline anxiety that haunts the working class completely evaporated from your bloodstream. You realized you could lose your job, face a massive medical emergency, and have your car break down all in the same week, and you would be perfectly fine. You wouldn't even have to change your lifestyle. You could live for years without a paycheck. You had bought the ultimate luxury, time and peace of mind. Back at the steakhouse, your brother-in-law is complaining about his taxes. He is sweating. The massive bill for the appetizer platter arrives and he hesitates. The guy driving the $52,000 SUV is staring at a $140 check, doing mental gymnastics to figure out which credit card has enough room left on it. He looks up at you. "Dane, things a bit tight this month? Don't worry, I got the tip." He says it loudly so the whole table hears his generosity. It's a power play. He is trying to establish dominance through debt. He is using Visa's money to make himself feel superior to your supposed poverty. You look at him. You look at the sweat on his forehead. You feel the cool, silent weight of $500,000 sitting quietly in the digital ether. "Thanks, I appreciate it," you say softly. You let him have the win. He needs it. His ego is the only thing keeping him from collapsing under his debt. You realize in that exact moment that you don't resent him, you pity him. He is trapped in a velvet cage, and he locked the door from the inside. He has to wake up every Monday and go to a job he hates just to pay the interest on the things he bought to impress people he doesn't even like. You, on the other hand, could walk out of the restaurant, walk away from your career, and spend the next 5 years reading books by the ocean. The people who used to pity you are actually the ones who are terrified. They are terrified of missing a paycheck. They are terrified of a recession. If they knew your actual net worth, their pity would instantly turn into deep, uncomfortable fear, because it would force them to look at their own choices. It would destroy their excuse that the system is rigged or that nobody can get ahead these days. You are living proof that discipline beats flash every single time. They would realize that the reason they are broke isn't the economy, it's the daily small ego-driven choices they make at the car dealership and the mall. So you protect them from that reality. You let them hold on to their illusions. You stay the quiet, unassuming character in their movie. But you are the director of your own life. You have the ultimate control panel. Your wealth is invisible to the naked eye, but it moves mountains in the background. When you go home that night, you unlock the door to your very modest apartment. The furniture is simple. There are no gold watches on the nightstand. You open your laptop. The screen glows in the dark room. You log into the brokerage account. The balance has updated after hours, $513,220. You didn't lift a finger today, and your money made more than your brother-in-law brought home in a week of stressful, agonizing, soul-crushing labor. That is the secret. Wealth isn't about what you can show, it's about what you can endure hiding. The longer you can hide it, the faster it grows. People think the hardest part of getting rich is making the money. It's not. The hardest part is refusing the temptation to show people you made the money. The human ego is loud. It wants to scream its victories from the rooftop. It wants to rub it in the faces of those who doubted you. But the moment you start dressing rich, you start spending like the rich. And the moment you spend like the rich, you stop compounding your actual wealth. You remember a guy from your high school. Let's call him Michael. Michael made $100,000 at 25 and immediately bought a luxury car. Now Michael is 35, making the same money, but he is drowning. His lifestyle inflated exactly to the edges of his income, suffocating him daily. Michael sees you in your Honda and feels better about himself. He thinks, at least I'm not Dane, at least I have a nice driveway. But Michael's net worth is negative $40,000. If he misses 2 paychecks, the bank comes for the car and the landlord comes for the apartment. You are the ghost in the machine. You are moving through the financial system entirely undetected. You take the bus sometimes just because it is easier. You buy your groceries on sale not because you have to, but because paying full price violates the fundamental laws of math that got you here in the first place. Every dollar you save isn't just a dollar, it is a seed. If you plant it, it grows. If you eat it, it is gone forever. You chose to be a farmer, not a consumer. The silence of your life is where the true beauty lies. You don't wake up to alarms that startle you. You wake up when you are rested. You don't take meetings you don't want to take. You say no with a quiet, polite firmness that confuses managers who are used to desperate employees. They can't figure you out. You don't have the golden handcuffs. You aren't chasing the next promotion to pay for a boat. You are perfectly content. That contentment makes you incredibly dangerous in a negotiation. When you don't need the money, people suddenly want to pay you a lot more of it. It is the ultimate paradox of wealth. The less you need it, the faster it flows toward you. The more you chase it to show off, the faster it runs away. As the years go on, your $500,000 will quietly become $1 million. Then too, the math is inevitable. It is no longer a matter of if, but exactly when. And the day you hit that massive 7-figure milestone, you know exactly what you are going to do. You are going to do absolutely nothing differently. You might upgrade the coffee beans you buy. You might take a slightly longer walk in the park, but you won't buy the flashy watch. You won't upgrade the car yet, because the real prize wasn't the number on the screen. The real prize was becoming the kind of person who didn't need the world's permission to feel successful. You watch the world spin around you. People stressed, angry, fighting over scraps, going into massive debt to impress strangers at stoplights. You step completely out of the arena. You are sitting in the quiet stands watching the gladiator match, completely immune to the violence of the economy. Your family will continue to pity you, your friends will continue to offer to pay for your drinks, and you will graciously let them do it. Because the truth is, if they knew what you were actually worth, it would ruin the relationship. The camouflage is the only thing keeping the connection alive. You are wealthy in the purest sense of the word. You own your time, you own your decisions, you own your absolute unshakable peace of mind. So let them stare at the old car, let them make their small judgmental comments, let them believe whatever they need to believe to sleep at night. Because when you close your eyes, you don't dream about getting rich. You don't have to. You already won the game they don't even know they are playing.